series has shifted to Minnesota. LeBron and the Lakers' goal this weekend is to win back home court advantage. So far, LeBron hasn't broken out a classic Bron game. Neither has Austin Reeves. Both have been solid, if not spectacular, through 2 games. But Luka has been as advertised. One of the greatest scorers in postseason history is averaging a cool 34 per to torment the T-Wolves. The Twin Cities have not been kind to the Lakers in recent years. 4 straight losses there, including both this year. But this is a new season. After splitting 2 in L.A., the Target Center hosts Game 3, the first of 2 in Minnesota. Tip-off is coming up right here on Spectrum Sportsnet at 6:30. As we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Alec Clifton, joined by the one and only Hall of Famer, Big Game James Worthy, the 3-time champ with the Lakers, legend himself, Byron Scott. Good to see the both of you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen.
Yeah, man. That's true. That's true, too.
Right?
Playoff time.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Got my partner right here, boy.
Yeah.
Memories.
Someone came looking for you in the makeup room earlier, and you said, just give him about 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Right on time. You were there.
I was in the parking lot.
The parking lot.
We're hanging out in the parking lot. Come in too early, they might ask you to do something.
Touche. That's a wise man. As the series shifts to Minnesota for games 3 and 4, we take a look at the West playoff picture. How about that Thunder-Grizzly game last night? The Grizzlies blown a 29-point lead as the Thunder take a 3-0 series lead. The Clippers routing the Nuggets to take a 2-1 lead, obviously 1-1 in this series, and then the Rockets and Warriors, as of right now, knotted up at 1 apiece. So as the Lakers shift this series to Minnesota, we talked about it a little bit the other night in the post-game show, obviously needing to carry over that intensity and that focus from game 2 to game 3. Big Game, I imagine that the first game on the road of a playoff series, the approach may be a little bit different. What does that look like? What's it going to require from the Lakers?
Well, yeah, after playing 2 games at home, giving up, home court advantage, obviously, the coaching staff will make the adjustments they need to make. I think they made a good adjustments in game 2 and how they were able to contain Edwards a little bit better, with some help. I think they have to have a defensive presence. That's the only thing it can look like. You got to put your hard hats on. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be physical. Just like game 2, and you have to be prepared for that. And I think they are. They had that week off, kind of fell asleep a little bit, lost game 1. Sometimes those days off can hurt you a little bit if you're not mentally focused. I think now they're ready. Hadn't been the best road team. They're better at home. But I think with the leadership of LeBron, Luka, with his experience last year, and I think Austin Reeves is about to have a breakthrough as well. But the impactors, those are the guys that have to kind of hold the line, on the road particularly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the pressure really is kind of squarely, even though the Lakers are the 3 seed, and Minnesota's the 6 seed, the pressure's squarely on Minnesota. You gotta keep that home court advantage as much as possible. So if I'm the Lakers, you gotta come in right now with this. Look, we just gotta win 1 out of these 2 to get the home court advantage back. So it ain't no pressure on us. We just gotta go out here and play our game. And I think the key to winning this game is kind of like what they did in game 2, Clever, when Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reeves really didn't get off like they did in game 1. If you can hold those 2 guys down, Julius Randle, he's going to do his thing. He's going to get his numbers, and Ant-Man's going to get his numbers. They just have the ball in their hands so much. So if you can hold the other guys, the other cast members down to average or below, then I think the Lakers got a great chance of winning this game.
Because that they're feeling pretty good, being back in comfortable territory in space, and you anticipate, we have yet to really see an Ant kind of performance. What do you anticipate from he and the Wolves?
Well, Minnesota accomplished what they needed to do. They came in here, they split 1. The Lakers didn't give up a lot of uncontested open shots. In game 1, it was a free-for-all. They got a lot of uncontested open shots. The Lakers only, had, I think, 15 assists as a team. Yep. But when going on the road with a team that's already beaten you at home, they're going to be pumped, especially this kid right here. This kid came down while the Lakers were warming up in the last game, came down to the other end of the floor and started talking trash to Luka. Like, he's different.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's different. So going back home, and all you're going to hear is that, oh, all night long. And so the Lakers just have to, growl back and come in with their own beast. They did a good job in game 2 of containing Edwards. He always saw a face, even though he was trying to get loose. They did a pretty good job, but rest assured, Minnesota's going to have something to counter that at home.
Apparently, Ant thought that the Lakers had all the good basketballs in the warm-ups, and so he was coming to get one of them.
Get me one, huh? Okay, I hear you. But you know what, Clever? That wolf howling, you know how you can shut that wolf up? You got to get off to a great start.
Yeah.
Yep.
You come out right away, you get out to a great start, you get the crowd out of it, then you know what? You won't be hearing that wolf too much all night long. Yeah, that whoop becomes into a little whoop puppy. You're a little.
Hopefully we hear that in the postgame from the both of you. Because as Bad News Brez told us yesterday on the Lake Show podcast, the Lakers just 1-7 in Minnesota since 2021.
Wow.
T-Wolves and the Lakers tip things off at 6:30 right here on Spectrum Sports Stats as we get you live to Minnesota. Lakers reporter Mike Trudell standing by with the latest. Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, welcome to Minneapolis. It hit home for me when Byron was just talking about the crowd, because in this building, just trust me as somebody from here, crowd can get a little bit nervous if the road team really starts to cook. All right, it's different in places like Los Angeles that have the history of the championships and the crowds kind of know what the team needs at a time. There does tend to be that feeling in this building, and certainly Luka Doncic knows that from the Western semis last year, and of course he was able to hit that shot not too far from me over Rudy Gobert. So we'll see how all that plays out as the game gets going. Now, just in terms of adjustments and technique and those kind of things, I did ask JJ, what did he see from the first 2 games that he feels like is most important as the Lakers come in here to start game 3? So here's JJ.
I thought in game 2, just our paint touch rate was significantly higher, and we got to continue to do that, even though there's a lot of size down there. I think throughout the year, when we touch the paint versus when we don't touch the paint, it's a significant difference in PPP. So I think just continuing to look for opportunities to create some thrust and get downhill, and we did a better job creating transition opportunities, and some of that obviously was we were getting stops. We didn't get any stops in game 1, so that's just it was hard to score on them. So we got to emphasize those 2 things.
Anyone who watched game 2 would have gotten a feel for just how physical playoff game could be, how intense it could be. Obviously your experience as a player as well. LeBron has never missed a playoff game. 289, I think it'd be 290 tonight. Jason Tatum had a streak just end at 114, which was pretty impressive in his own right, but about a third of it. I just wondered if you could add it or give us any perspective on that aspect of what he's been able to do in his career.
I think it is very impressive, and if you think about the 10 finals runs plus, I know there's at least 1 conference finals in there with Cleveland, another one with LA, so 12 times in 22 years. I think that's correct. I don't know every single year what LeBron did. I'd have to really think about it, but I think that's right. Yeah. So, what is that? 55% of the time he's playing an extra 2 months, and that's not only the intensity, but the games aren't necessarily spaced out. You got a very intense games in a short amount of time. Particularly after you get past the first round, those next 2 rounds are pretty much every other day, and I think it's just hard. And you particularly in the last 7-8 years,